What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've posted in this YouTube channel, but today I'm doing it, right? Being kind of energetic and active because it was a hectic week. Nothing, nothing sort of stressing out because everything happened as per plan. Even the last anticipation that I had on Great Britain US dollar, even that was kind of accurate. So now today we are going to talk about Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, because what is happening in the crypto market is crazy right now. Since like this last few weeks, it has absolutely obliterated everyone that were in the long position. So it's kind of huge. So we are going to talk about it, slowly break down what happened, right, and figure out if you could have taken shots and made a lot of money. So we're going to talk about that. First of all, as per our ritual, we are going to talk about the anticipation we had. So this is the chart that we had. This is the chart of September 30. So what I'm going to talk about, I'm sorry for that. What I'm going to talk about is this candle right here. So this is my weekly time frame, as I've already mentioned, and I'm expecting price to come to show me some downtrend characteristics, some features of downtrend, like lower highs, lower lows, things like that. So this is the candle that is going to give me that vision, right? And we can also see some sort of sweeps, which we will get into it in the middle time frame and lower time frame. So there are three time frames I specifically use. The first one is weekly time frame that gives us directional bias. Then we have daily time frame that gives us daily bias, right? So you see what I'm talking about. Then there is 1 hour and 15 minutes. These are my lower time frames, so four time frames altogether. And with the combination of these time frames, I try to find the best trade possible. So what has happened in big Bitcoin over here is this candle right here, right? This weekly candle. I'm expecting price to come down from this specific candle. So this is what was anticipated. That was the anticipation we had. Now, the current scenario of the market. What is the current scenario of the market? Let me show you. This is what has happened in the market. Oh my god. What is this? This is what is currently happening in the market. So the weekly bias we had was this candle would give us the characteristics of a downtrend. And as you can see, it's clearly looking like a downtrend as per now. These are the strong keywords that I'm using because market is unpredictable. Anything can happen in the market. So as per now, it is showing the characteristics of downtrend, right? So if you ask me that if someone who knows ICT or SMC, would they have gotten this? Absolutely. My answer would be absolutely they would have. If you know the concepts and if you know how to be patient and make sure you stick with your plan, cancel all the noises of the outside because you know how Bitcoin works, right? Everyone is bullish because they all have altcoins, right? And they are expecting Bitcoin to explode so that they can be millionaires, billionaires overnight. Now, this is the current scenario that I'm talking about. So, first of all, there's one thing I want to add is 3.5 breaking down of this particular pricing. So, get let's just get into this, right? So this is the directional bias we have. When we had this, look at this. This is the bullish candle, completely bullish. Now we are not taking any trades in bullish candle, although we can see these sweeps over here, but we do not take trades when there is a bullish sentiment around because the bullish sentiment in stock in cryptocurrency is crazy because you can get liquidated very quick. And even here, like if you were like so quick, if this is the if this is if you are taking a short position just looking at this liquidity sweep, then it's it's very obvious that you got liquidated at this point. And you were right. You were completely right that the market was going to head towards your direction. But because of the stop loss hunt, you got taken out. Because we can see over here, right? At that point, like the people saw these sweeps, right? And there's the high volume. These sweeps, they took short positions, they were liquidated over here. Then the market went to the direction it was going to go towards. So, but if you were patient enough, you saw this liquidity sweep, right? And you were patient enough to wait for a candle that is showing some sellers are active, that is showing you that sellers are going to take control now, right? And which candle shows us that? This candle right here. So what I'm doing here is you have the liquidity sweep in weekly time frame, right? So this is the liquidity sweep we have in weekly time frame. Now, what does this mean is basically either price has to close above this so that this gets invalidated. But this is a point that I think market is going to head towards the down price, right? The downside. So because I'm thinking like that and I want to take short positions over here, what I'm doing is being biased to the downside because then only I can take trade, right? So if you are not biased towards one direction, you can't take trade. If the trade works, then you're going to continue your bias or change your bias according to the pricing of the market. But if it does not go according to your bias, you are wrong. You are wrong, and you just learn that your bias is wrong. And then you strategize accordingly. So at this point, look at this. This is the liquidity sweep you are seeing. After this liquidity sweep, you are waiting in daily time frame. This is the middle time frame that I have. You are waiting for this swing point to get formed. And the swing points are usually of 3 to 4 candles. Now look at this. This candle has just been swept, which means this is the candle that we are focusing now. This candle got swept, right? So this candle got swept. If this was the candle that we are focusing on, and the focus did not shift towards this candle, it had to close below this point so that this would be a valid point. But because these candle, this specific candle right here of October 5, it swept the liquidity of October 3rd. So now our focus is on the candle of October 5. Then the October 5th candle that got swept away as well. Now the same process. If this is swept, this is need to be broken. If this is swept, this needs to be broken so that we have these 3 points, these three candles as valid swing points. So we got our valid swing points as well. Now we have two bias confirmed. The weekly one, we were expecting a market to show some sort of liquidity sweep over here, which happened. We were over here anticipating the market to show some downside. So that happened. Now, a daily time frame, we got our daily bias by looking at these swing points. Now it's all about planning and patience. In hourly, this is where I mostly use my lower time frames to be. In hourly time frame, what I'm doing is look at this, right? So if these 3 points are my swing points, I'm looking at change of character. You can see recently Bitcoin has broken this ice, or right over here, I think. Uh, if you can see over here, look at this. Yeah, it has just broken, slightly broken. So you have to use these. This too helps a lot because it has slightly broken. a little bit of breakup structure. Which that is our structure mapping. So we are taking that as breakup structure now, because this is our breakup structure, and we our two of our time frames has been aligned in bias, right? So we're expecting the price to go down. Our weekly time frame is showing us that prices go down. Our daily time frame is showing us that our price will go down. Now there is only one confirmation we need, and that is the change of character or market structure shift in your lower time frame so that you can take the trades according to the bias, according to the strategy you have. So my strategy is to wait for change of character to happen in hourly. Now look at this. If this is the break of structure, you can see that this candle. Okay, so this candle has been swept. This candle has been swept. We are focusing on this candle now, and now this candle low has been swept, and it is also given break of structure. So this is a good sign. So this is no longer inducement for us. This is change of character. Why? Because our middle time frame and our higher time frame is showing us that the directional bias is towards the downtrend. So this is our change of character. But what happened? The change of character got swept away. So we are not taking positions because this got swept away. What we are waiting to do is either price should close above these so that we can strategize accordingly, that our whole directional bias may be wrong, right? According to that, or these these lows must be taken out. Now we have sweeping over here, so this is our focus point. We have sweeping over here, so this is our focus point, and right over here is where change of character finally happens. Now this is what we are waiting for. This is what we need. So three time frames are weekly. I'll just simply explain the exact entry planning now. The weekly time frame has liquidity sweep, and that is our higher time frame bias. So it's a liquidity sweep on weekly time frame, and you can see right over here when the week liquidity was swept, we saw this huge downside move, right? So after this got swept away, our weekly bias is set. Then the daily one that we have over here, and the daily one is showing swing points, showing that okay, at this exact moment, at this exact price points, at this exact pricing, we may see a good downside, we may see downtrend happening. Now the final one, the final confirmation that we need is the change of character, right? After this change of character happens, we are just marking out. We're using advanced order block here, by the way. So above this 0.5 level, which I think I will upload some video on advanced order block later. But basically, what you need to understand is like if there is a constant order flow over here, because this is the order flow we have, right? And this order flow took these highs of the sellers. So these order flows are what we are looking at. The exactly zero point 0.5 level of these order flows are where we are looking to sell because the bias is downtrend. Now, and look at the tapping. We have this tapping. We have this candle over here, which is high on volume. It meets our average volume and it also did not close above. So this is where we could have possibly taken the position. I didn't take any position, by the way, because this is the only position that I took. I did not hold on to this. I just took, I think, from here to here, from these points to these points. So that is what I took. Did not took these trades, by the way, but I'm just explaining you how this whole crash happened. Still got some of it, so that's fine as well, right? So at this point, we are hoping for a downside change of character, and this is where we take short position. Sorry, short position over here. So this is going to be our stop loss and target. Now we're looking at target. Look, this is where people gets confused because we have this whole analysis. This whole analysis comes from one single time frame, and that is weekly. So if your trade succeed, then you are expecting weekly target to hit. If you want to be humble, you can look at daily POIs as well, but that is how we are doing this. And this liquidity sweep must result to these targets, right? Lows of this, because this is a swing high and this is a swing low. The swing lows, highs, I'm sorry, swing highs liquidity is taken, you are targeting swing lows, right? Which just gave the target has just been hit. It got hit last, yeah, it got hit that time as well, but properly hit this time. So, and look at that, isn't it? Until these points. So this would be your target. Look at this. All crazy risk to reward. All from this single bias over here. All came from this simple bias. So this is how we trade. This is how we trade, aligning our different time frames and hoping for the best to happen. Being patient. So that's all for today. So our next strategy, I'm sorry, forgot to talk about next strategy. The next strategy, the next strategy we have is following this weekly time frame. The next strategy may be that I'm actually expecting these lows to be taken out so that, but what I'm trying to say is, what a perfect trade, right? So what I'm trying to say is we are not doing anything. We are absolutely not doing anything until there's some up view over here, right over here. So yeah, that's it. We're just waiting for price to come down even more. And but if there's also some sort of fixed understanding psychological factors you need to see. And there is this, that if weekly, the weekly that we have, that will close in like 1 day, right? So if these closes, you can see, right? If these closes above this, so then we can also take one trade to the upside and see the point of interest that is that in the lower time frame that is yet to be tapped. And accordingly, we can plan our next entry to the downside, by the way, because we are expecting a very big pull down. And what is this pull down going to be for is for the massive downside. So yeah, the bull has not ended yet. The bull will end when these lows are taken out. So until these lows are taken out, we are still in a bull run. So that is how we are looking at the market. Until 70k of Bitcoin is breached, we are looking for long position. So our long-term bias is still towards the upside. That is all, guys. See you in the next video. Adios.